in the
Can I
coming
ask you, do you think it should be allowed? I mean, this whole debate over mixing and matching of vaccines, it's been going on for some time. Again, in the West, you see that it's something that, medical experts have encouraged. Here, we're doing the opposite. And in fact, a number of doctors I spoke to were thrilled when Covovax was approved and given that authorization because they said that will be a great mix and match with Covishield. Is that something that you're pitching for as well, that it should be allowed?
Yeah, I mean, there have been enough studies going on also, and the experts have to decide whether it's okay and safe. I think that if, you've got an EUL and you do some comparison trials, that should be allowed. So the data on that will come out very soon. There are some studies going on. That will certainly make life easier, giving the choice to the doctor or the individual to choose what product they want. But don't forget, during a pandemic, all these vaccines were given emergency use licensure. A lot of things were fast-tracked in the sense that, in the normal sense, you would do a trial and then you generally don't mix vaccines. Right now, because there's so many options available for COVID vaccines, naturally, some people have a preference based on what they've read or what they want to take. So we need to address that in a scientific manner, and the experts have to look at the data and then decide whether it's okay to mix some of these vaccines, as a booster or whatever.
But based on the data that you have, is it better actually for us to be, let's say, taking a Covovax booster if we've had Covishield in round 1 and 2?
Well, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment yet on that because the data is ongoing. But wherever you've seen, even overseas, where you've been boosted with Covovax or have taken Covovax, it's given excellent results. As I had mentioned, it's more than 90% in its efficacy. It doesn't have some of the downsides of what messenger RNA vaccines have or even the viral vector vaccines have. It's a subunit protein, so it's very safe. So, it took a little longer time to develop, but this is what, when you progress as time goes on in science, you develop safer and better vaccines and drugs than what you have, earlier on. And I know everyone's anxious to get the best and the latest, but they may have to wait a little bit longer.
But you do hope that mixing and matching will eventually be allowed?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that, provided we have a clear-cut medical recommendation from the experts after they look at the data. Because, it's important. Let's say, for example, you mix some of the vaccines and there's a reaction. And you take a booster, so 6 months afterwards. But it could be argued that, did this cause it or did that cause it? So we need to get clarity on that. So that if there is a reaction or an issue, the right type of investigation can happen. And for that, we need more data to see how certain vaccines act with one another in a controlled trial space. And that's why we're waiting for the experts to look at that and then decide.